Hey guys, this week's video is dedicated in memory of Masha Bas Basha. Hope you're enjoying the summer, the beautiful weather. You know, when people set up a business, small business, etc., they have to figure out how they're going to structure it. And one of the popular ways is to structure as a pass-through entity, which means all the income passes straight through to the owners, investors, etc. And this prevents being double taxed like a big C corporation, where the entity is taxed and then the individuals who make money off it are taxed. Now, I'm not here to give a tax lesson. I'm not exactly, profoundly tax literate, but there actually is a life lesson to be learned from this idea of pass-through entities. And it's connected to this week's Torah portion, Parsha Eikev, where he's telling the Jewish people, you're about to enter the land of Israel, and gives these beautiful descriptions of the land. And we have probably the most famous description of the land of Israel in this week's Torah portion, a land flowing with milk and honey. Why did Moses choose these two things, milk and honey, as a description for the land of Israel? What's so significant about that? We're going to leave milk on the side. We'll focus on honey here today. When you think about bees and honey, what are the two things that come to mind when it comes to bees? Number one is pollinators, right? They fly around, things attach to them. They pick things up as they fly around from here to there, and they pollinate, they have nectar, and they're honeybees, they turn it into honey. The second thing that comes to mind is the stinger, right? Whether you're a kid or you're an adult, when that bee starts buzzing near your head, you think about that. And as we tell kids, and we have to tell ourselves, is that primarily bees only sting as a self-defense mechanism, right? They're not out there to sting. They only use it as a last resort. So if we leave the bees alone, they'll leave us alone. Now there's a powerful idea here. God sends us into the world metaphorically to buzz around like bees on a mission. And we pick stuff up as we go through life, and we have interactions. And ideally, we're meant to turn those interactions into something holy, into something sweet, like honey, right? Something spiritual. All those interactions we have throughout life. How do we stay focused on this mission, right? There are so many challenges that come up, right? Whether it's society, whether it's people around us, whether it's internal struggles that challenge us to stay, when we're trying to stay on mission here, they challenge us. That's when we got to pull out the stinger, right? We got to confront them head on. Confront our challenges head on. Not kick them down the road, not beat them around the bush, or push them off till later. Things that are preventing us from staying on mission, we got to confront them head on. But there's this beautiful idea of tax, when it comes to pass-through corporations, that could actually give us a powerful tip. How to stay on mission? Let me tell you something very unique about the bee. Honey is made from secretions from a non-kosher animal, and yet it's kosher. Even though it's secreted from a bee, it's still kosher, while other animal secretions from non-kosher animals are not. Why is that? What's so unique about the bee? And the Talmud tells us it's because the bee is a pass-through entity. Things that just the honey just passes through, and therefore it retains its botanical nature. It doesn't add to it. It's passed through it. And this is a powerful idea. When faced with a challenge, when we're buzzing around and we want to turn something into honey, and we're challenged, and how are we supposed to do this? We have to remember, we're pass-through entities. God put us on this world for God to pass through us into this world and to turn this world into a holy place. And so when our ego gets involved and our own personalities get involved and start challenging us, we have to remember, we're here for a bigger purpose. If a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar corporation has a huge deal on the table, and he feels that the person across the table from him insulted his tie or doesn't like his tie, he's not going to throw the deal out the window, right? He has to think about the company as a whole, right? We have to remember that we're here, there's a bigger purpose to it. There's a bigger play here. We're pass-through corporations. We're meant to God is using us to pass through into this world. And by doing that, when faced with a specific challenge, whether it's internal or external, we stay on mission. Remember, what all our interactions that we're buzzing around are meant to be turned into honey. Shabbat Shalom.